Should I take an advanced inheritance loan? It's something we see a lot in probate, and maybe you're thinking about it and have some questions. We get into that right now. Welcome back to the channel featuring the leading probate real estate team in the greater Sacramento region. I'm Brendan Mohr, realtor and certified probate and trust specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed California professional fiduciary. I'm also a registered and bonded California legal document assistant, specializing in uncontested probate work, as well as I'm a licensed California real estate broker.
Now, please like this video, subscribe right now. Want your probate done for no fee? Well, every day we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches with our cost savings probate administration service and real estate listing combo. So if it's in California and real estate needs to be sold, reach out to us. Our info is in the About section on this channel. We love your calls, texts, emails, and comments. Now let's get into it. Should I take an advanced inheritance loan? Now, this is something that I don't necessarily see as a realtor so much, even doing probate. I will maybe sometimes hear about it from a client. It's more of something that you see on your side when you're probating estates, when you're doing your probate administration service.
Yeah, quite a bit. And my simple answer to should you take an advanced inheritance loan, the simple answer is no, don't do it, please. However, there are times when maybe you do need to take it. Sometimes I work with families or an heir who, once he or she is out of that probate home because it's sold, they don't have any money or any place to go to live. Maybe they're unemployed or have no income, and they don't really have any savings, and they're in a desperate situation. So in those type of circumstances, okay, yeah, an advanced inheritance loan is probably the way to go. The only thing I always suggest is that take as little as you need to, because these companies will offer you the maximum amount that you might qualify for against your estate. So the reason that these advanced inheritance loans are what I consider so bad, the fees are horrendously high, and they're set up on a timeline where it's more likely you're going to pay the maximum fee. Because what they do is they'll set up their loans in such a way that, I'll just give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're going to take a $25,000 advanced inheritance loan. You'll sign a document that'll say something like, okay, we're going to give you $25,000 and you're going to pay us back $50,000 if we get paid a year from the time you take the loan. And then it will also say, okay, you're going to pay us back $40,000 for that $25,000 loan if you pay us back within 8 months of the time you take the loan. And they'll scale it down on the way down. But the problem is probate takes an average of a year to finish, often longer. And probate is structured so that there's some mandatory waiting periods, plus you add in the time it takes to get a hearing date. The soonest you might be able to get the advanced inheritance loan payback might be 8 to 10 months. It's more likely it's going to be the full year, and you're going to pay the maximum amount. So just understand that if you take one of these loans, you're going to pay a really high payback fee. And that's really why I always tell or suggest to my clients, don't take it unless it's a dire emergency, unless you just have no other way to live.
Yeah, in my experience working with you on these, there's been very few occasions where it seemed like it did make sense for them. And it was if they didn't have a place to go afterwards, because the money's not distributed to the estate right after the sale. There's a whole process for that, and it could take several months after the sale.
Yeah, just let me interrupt for a second. You bring up a really good point, Brendan. A lot of people think that once the probate home has sold, that's it, they get their money. And that's not true. The heirs generally, they don't get their money till the very end of the probate process. And a lot of people don't understand that, they don't realize that.
And that could be months. There's several more steps you really have to do after that, and then petition for the final the finalization of the probate.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you have to wait for your court date. And correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much any time that there's any sort of distributions, and payouts or anything of that sort in probate, you have to have a court order.
You do. Absolutely. You can't distribute any money to anybody without a court order. You have to have that. It's required.
Now, the times that I've seen it, which have been very few, where it seemed like it made sense, other than didn't have a place to live right afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe there were some serious repairs that would have improved the value of the home.
Yeah.
Other than that, a lot of times it almost seems like one of these companies maybe reached out to one of our clients or somebody in probate, and it almost seems predatory.
Yeah.
And one of those examples for me is a client that you and I had, where this individual told me on the phone that he got this advanced inheritance loan and he felt like he worked out a really good deal.
Yeah.
And told me how much he would pay. And then I'm talking to you, and you actually have the paperwork and read all the fine print, and it was quite a bit different.
It was.
And you were correct.
Yeah.
He was not. And he ended up having to pay many thousands of dollars. So I don't know what these companies tell people over the phone. Maybe they're preying on that, just hoping that they don't read the fine print. But what I would tell people, if you're going to go out and get an advanced inheritance loan, whatever the maximum shows that you're going to pay back, that is the amount you should count on having to pay back.
Yeah, good point.
And another thing that was pointed out to me recently, and you and I talked about this recently, it's something I didn't really realize. And thank you to a very alert and very sharp watcher of our channel.
Yeah.
She reached out to me and told me about this, that her family, and this was not a case that we were working on, this is just somebody watching our channel had told me about this. Most of the heirs of the estate where one of her loved ones was involved in was recommended an advanced inheritance company by the attorney. And I looked at that advanced inheritance company's website. They pay a referral fee to the attorney's office. Mm-hmm. And then this person who reached out to me, she looked on the court website and found through the court details of several of the same attorney's cases, she's recommending the same to everybody. And according to her, the heirs were encouraged by the attorney to take this. And as it turns out, the attorney's getting a kickback. And apparently that's legal, I guess.
Legal, but highly unethical. I've been doing uncontested probate work for almost 40 years now. And I have been approached over the last 40 years by several of these advanced inheritance companies, by some of the representatives who will tell me, look, if you will recommend us to some of the heirs that you're doing probate work for, we'll pay you a referral fee. And I flat out said, no, I will not do that because it's very unethical. I would never do that.
So it's something, if you're ever recommended to talk to one of these companies from whoever is probating your estate, you might want to ask them, are you getting a referral fee for this?
Yes.
And then, like I said, consider the worst case scenario, because that is what I've seen.
Yeah, you're right on that. I would plan on, if you're going to take a loan, plan on that you're going to have to pay back the maximum amount. Just plan on it. And if it's anything less than that, great. It's an unexpected little bonus, but plan on the maximum amount.
Crazy stuff I've seen.
Yeah.
$10,000 up front, $20,000 later paid out.
Yep.
Not worth it. Anything else you'd like to add on this one?
I think we've covered it pretty well. Again, the short answer, as I said in the beginning of this video, don't take an advanced inheritance loan unless it's all you have. It's an emergency. Okay.
Yeah. That's great. From here, I think learning a little bit more about the probate real estate timeline is in order. So please watch this next video. It's only a 5-minute video, less than 5 minutes.
That's right.
It's the probate real estate timeline in 5 minutes, and it's going to appear right in front of your face right about now.